my most favorite subgenre in metal and extreme music. Often controversial, at times incorrect, shrouded in darkness and obscurity, cold and desolate, and purely just evil all the time. I also want to state that I do not subscribe to any of these bands or artist ideologies, point blank, period. I feel this video for myself has been long overdue. I put this video idea to the side for a while, for whatever reason, but we're here now. And I can't lie, I was surprised at how indecisive I started to get, ranking many of my top black metal albums of all time. In a way, it challenged me to really narrow down which black metal albums really sit at the top for me personally. A bunch of these bands and records are very obvious. This is not a video to enlighten you to any new and obscure black metal artists or projects, but if you are new to the genre, there are plenty of great records in this video that'll help open you to this realm of metal that you probably heard terrible things about, if that's what you're looking for. This list has some of the most iconic, influential, and innovative albums in the genre, especially for its time. I've also included some undeniable, now classic, modern black metal albums as well. All that sprinkled with a bit of my own biased opinions, because it's my list. There's a bunch of records to get into. I have plenty of honorable mentions I want to showcase before getting into the top 20. So with no further delay, let's get into the video.
To the Elder Ruins again.
Satan.
Alright, starting the honorable mentions part of this list is Fortress's second album. This is my absolute favorite when it comes to atmospheric black metal. And then I have Inquisition's Invoking the Majestic Throne of Satan. This is how I love my black metal to sound, and it's amazing how there's only 2 members. And then we have Cradle of Filth in their black metal era with Dusk and Her Embrace, a true classic. I just picked up the reissue recently on vinyl, and this would have been on the top 20 if it wasn't considered an EP or a demo. I still think it's kind of weird, but yeah, we have Nocturnal Mortums, Lunar Poetry, an absolute banger and one of my favorites to listen to in the wintertime. This one, I was really surprised that it got knocked out of the top 20, but Spectral Wounds, Infernal Decadence, perfect from beginning to end, honestly. This is also how I love my black metal to sound like, generally. This one, I was very butthurt about. I was very shocked that I had to take this out of the top 20. You should all know this. Immortals at the Heart of Winter. I know there's probably a lot of people raging at the screen right now. But yeah, it's okay. It's all good. It's a shocker. And this album is perfect from beginning to end as well. Just a true metal masterpiece overall. Alright, next up, I remember this record getting a lot of hate when it got reissued and re-recorded, but Demi Borgir's Stormblast. I love this album. A lot of people say the original was better, and that's a valid argument. But this one is my personal favorite. They had Hellhammer on the drums for this, and the 2 extra singles were also a great addition to the 2005 recorded version. All right, and this next one, I know, a shocker to most. I have Satyricon Dark Medieval Times. One of my favorite black metal records of all time. I had to throw it off the top 20. It's just, there's just more albums that I favor more, I guess. Favorite track off of this is the third one, Skigadance. I botched that. And wrapping things up with the honorable mentions part of this list, I have Evil Feast, Elegies of the Stellar Wind. This is another one that I was really butthurt about when I had to take it off the top 20. But this thing is cold, man. Just an epic, atmospheric, symphonic, black metal classic to its core. Alright, may the spirit of Korthon grant me the power to get through this top 20s list. Right, kicking this top 20 list off, I have Dark Thrones Ablaze in the Northern Sky. Most people will probably go with Transylvanian Hunger or Under a Funeral Moon. I went with this one, probably because this was my first impression of the band. Most of the time, I will be honest, I do go back and forth between this record and Panzerfaust, depending on the day. It's also important to note that there is an original LP copy of Ablaze in the Northern Sky featured in the National Library of Norway, which is an exhibition that preserves and showcases Norwegian culture and heritage. And I feel that's a testament to how iconic and great this record really is. Alright, and coming in at number 19, I have a one-man black metal project from France, Sonifer. When I looked it up, it actually kind of surprised me, but this is his fourth release. And at the time of this recording, he currently has 5 albums out. So, honestly, I don't feel like a lot of people talk about this project enough. This is some of the most melodic, organized, chaotic shit I've ever heard. The speed at which Andreos, I believe that's his name, I probably said that wrong. The speed that he plays behind the kit is just pure insanity. The fill-ins and everything in between, shredding just all over this album. Melodic as all hell. This album is cold. I also want to add how technical, the precision and technicality on this album is insane. Hard to find in the genre. And for that, this is definitely one of my most favorite modern day black metal albums currently right now. Right, coming in at number 18, I have Emperors and the Night Side Eclipse. Not my first introduction to symphonic black metal, but my second impression of symphonic black metal. This record definitely pushed boundaries, it defined a genre, and then it basically created its own path and created its own subgenre and inspired many bands after. The composition and heavy usage of the keys really create a thick, dense atmosphere that really helped make this album feel otherworldly. This was the album that also invoked imaginations of icy landscapes in my head. This record is honestly timeless, and it needs no introduction at this point. Alright, and number 17, I have Leviathans, the 10th sub-level of... this is the darkest record, possibly, on this list. If there was ever a record, right, that I got asked in, like, when I was younger, like, what's the most evilest, darkest, most satanic record you've ever heard? I didn't know the answer back then, but I do know the answer now, and I would tell them this right here. This is a straight-up USBM classic, Leviathan representing the United States. The album artwork creeps me out. It totally represents how this album sounds like. This album is tormented, it is lost, it is full of hate and regret and sorrow for all eternity, with no light and no end in sight. And plenty of the times it feels very tense and uncomfortable, and for that it had to be in my top 20. Alright, and making its way to the number 16th spot on this top 20s list, I have another one-man project from Australia this time. This is Commodus with Wrath of Bleeding Snowfall. Man, This is another modern day black metal album that caught me off guard in terms of how catchy it was and just how much this album has stuck with me since the first time I heard it. It's one of the few albums I can listen to in the gym. Um, Black metal is not really my vibe when I'm working out, but man, this thing is so aggressive, it's so unhinged, and it's far from the traditional ways of the second wave style of things. It actually has a war metal type of vibe, and overall, sounds like you're in a whirlwind of just like a mad blizzard, and the howls and screams coming from far beyond. You know what I mean? And you're just trying to escape this damn blizzard. And overall, I really love the philosophy behind this record. Alright, unless you've been living under a rock, if you've been paying attention to black metal the last 10 to 15 years, not only do you know this album, but most likely you're a fan of Polish black metal heavyweights, Mgła. Exercises in Futility is my favorite from their whole entire discography, as it probably is yours too. No shocker. The riffs bring such a dark atmospheric aura, as Mgła tend to always do. They are the masters at this. The drummer Darkside Kowalski is a true highlight of the band. Sounds like a pro wrestler from the 80s, doesn't it? Killer Kowalski. Such an unconventional and innovative way of going around the kit. Very technical and rhythmic. His cymbal work is incredible. He likes to make melodies in between blasts and shit. I like to call it melodic cymbal fill-ins. I appreciate that. In a world where us humans basically disagree on almost everything, I'm glad we can all agree that Exercises in Futility deserve to be on every single top 20 black metal albums list. Alright, coming in at number 14, I have Inquisition's Bloodshed Across the Empyrean Altar Beyond the Celestial Zenith. A mouthful of an album title. Two-man black metal band originally from Colombia, then later came to the US in 1996 and became part of the USBM scene. This band's sound has always caught my attention due to Dagon's demonic toad croak vocals. Very reminiscent of Abbot's vocals from Immortal. Very atmospheric, hypnotizing, and ritualistic way of riffing. Inquisition totally have their own style. I love the mid-tempo riffs on this record. I believe this record is a fair mix between fast-tempo riffs and blasts. But when they go mid-tempo, Inquisition really bring a whole different vibe into their game. Incubus is a fucking beast behind their drum kit, and this record also contains my favorite track from the band, probably ever, Wings of Anu. Alright, and coming in at the number 13 spot, I have Tokay's debut album. This is my absolute favorite from the band. An absolute Norwegian black metal classic, and for a good reason. This album really takes me through a snowy hike up in the mountains during wintertime, in Bergen specifically. Very rarely does this band disappoint. If you know their whole entire discography, Take have always been a band that have always added folky and pagan vibes to their music, but Tokay's sound is a little something more different from the rest. Cold, tremolo picked riffs throughout the whole entire album, and also not to mention the melancholic melodies that soar throughout the whole entire damn thing. Alright, and coming in at number 12, representing Finland, my personal favorite from the Finnish black metal scene, Sargeist with Let the Devil In. The Finnish black metal scene runs deep, man. Probably in the top 30 to 50, you'd probably find more Finnish black metal bands on here, for sure. But I only have space for, a few. So when all the chips are down, this is it for me. Black metal perfection. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it's done so well. Some of my favorite tracks on this is number 3, from the Black Coffin Layer, track number 5, Nocturnal Revelation, such a banger. Another one of those mid-tempo bangers. Track number 7 with the album title Let the Devil In, and also As Darkness Tears the World Apart. Sinister riffs to open, such a closer to an album like this. Honestly, all these tracks on this record is an 8 or above, and this could definitely be someone's gateway album to black metal. And at the 11th spot, I have Gorgoroth's debut album, Pentagram. Again, this is how I love my black metal to sound like, and this shit is straight up evil. No one did it better back then. Hat's high-pitched, snarly, demonic vocals is all you need to hear to understand what I'm talking about if you haven't already heard this album. Just your standard black metal formula for the most part in terms of songwriting, but executed to hellish perfection. Alright, what's up, guys? If you're still here watching this top 20s list with me, much love to you guys. Please considering on giving this video a like, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah. Alright, shit's getting serious now. In the 9th spot, Judas Iscariot's To Embrace the Corpse's Bleeding. My absolute favorite U.S. black metal album of all time. Yes, this is the Ascension Monuments bootleg, but let's not even talk about that. When I play this record, when I listen to this album, there are no skips. Just the first 5 songs right off the bat, all bangers. First song, such a strong opener. Terror from the Eastern Sky is probably my favorite song off this whole entire record. In the Valley of Death, I Am Their King. Another one of those mid-tempo bangers. You know how I love my mid-tempo bangers. And their 8th track, Spectral Dance, totally reminds me of something that would be off of Gorgoroth's Pentagram as well. But nonetheless, if you don't know who Judas Iscariot is, check him out. Alright, and at number 8, I have Campfar's debut album, undeniable cult classic, true Norwegian black metal masterpiece. This is another one of those bands that definitely have a folky and pagan aura to their sound. And at times, I do tend to hear black and roll inspired riffs in their songwriting as well. This thing is just an adventure and a half. It's fun. It's cold. It's frostbitten. I mean, come on. What else could you ask for? Honestly, check this album out. I highly recommend it. And at number 7, this is the album that knocked out At the Heart of Winter. This is one of my most favorite metal records of all time in general. Immortals, Sons of Northern Darkness. Without going into too much detail, because I will be making a separate video, the album is perfect from top to bottom, and the only reason why it's not number 1 is because it is not pure black metal. And how fitting. Taking number 6, I have Sweden's own Dissection. Now, this album truly needs no introduction. Moving forward, that's going to be the tagline. And also, from top to bottom, absolute melodic riffage perfection. Some of my favorite tracks on this is track number 3, obviously, Unhallowed. Number 4, Where Dead Angels Lie, obviously. But, man, track number 6, Thorns of Crimson Death. And track number 7, Soul Reaper. Oh, man. The guitar writing and composition is just elite to the highest degree. This record is such an essential to the subgenre of black metal, and it's no wonder why Dissection were able to garner such a diehard fan base, a cult following. There will never be another album like Storm of the Light's Bane. And now we have reached the 5th spot on this list. As you can see, I have Mayhem's
De Mysterio Satanas.
There's truly nothing else I can say to add on to what we already know about this record, but let me just say this. When you think black metal, you think of this record right here. The way this album was recorded, the way it sounds, so eerie. Hellhammer's a beast. I love this record. It's timeless. All right, we're winding down, and we're getting closer to a number one, but at number 4, I have Ulver's Bergtatt. My absolute favorite record when it comes to atmospheric black metal. I'll never forget the first time I heard this record. I was blown away. I never heard anything like it. It's really hard to explain what I feel when I listen to this, and it's a whole listening experience. You got to listen to it all the way through, but I hear nostalgic melodies that I heard from a Roman Catholic cathedral ages ago. From the distance, while it's snowing, and you're just taking a stroll through the woods to Grandma's house. The atmosphere is beautiful, and that's the reason why this album is so high up on my list. Check this album out. If you haven't, you won't be disappointed. All right, we're here at number 3. As you can see, I have Bathory's Under the Sign of the Black Mark. How could I not? Korthon, the godfather of black metal, I will say. And this is my ultimate favorite from Bathory's black metal era. If you don't get down with this album, we can't even talk. Why are you even watching this? But some of my favorite tracks are Women of Dark Desires, Enter the Eternal Fire, and 13 Candles. Long live Korthon. And at the number 2 spot, I have Enslaved's Frost. I absolutely adore this album. Just picture yourself canoeing through the rivers and mountains, through all of Jotunheim's alpine landscapes, surrounded by mist and clouds, as you enter an ancient portal that takes you back to a cold, barbaric Viking past. Can't believe this album was written and recorded in 1994. Enslaved are definitely in their own lane. This is one of my all-time favorite black metal records. All right, here we go. At number 1, I have Immortals Pure. My favorite black metal band of all time is indeed responsible for my favorite black metal record of all time. It's hard to believe that this was recorded in 1993. Favorite tracks right off the bat, The Sun No Longer Rises, Storming Through Red Clouds and Holocaust Winds, and As the Eternity Opens. Fucking unreal, man. This is raw, cold, barbaric, sinister, plenty of groovy riffs throughout the whole album. This is, in my opinion, Immortals' darkest hour out of their whole entire discography. I think it's way better than Battles in the North. And if Abbott really did perform the drums on this record, that makes him more of a legend. Just unhinged madness behind the kit from Abbott, going at abnormal speeds. No drum triggers, just straight up savagery. Just the total elite of the genre. And name me any other band that was doing it like that in the early 90s. What's going on, guys? I really appreciate the true cult following who stayed all the way till the end of this video. If you like this video, consider helping me out and consider giving this video a like. I love to hear from you guys. What's your take on a top 20 black metal albums list? I'm genuinely curious. If you want to see more music related content like this, hit the subscribe button. This is a new channel and this is what I love to do, so consider helping me out. It's free and takes no effort at all. You can also follow me on Instagram at cultisdead. You could also follow my backup account, Cult9. And that basically wraps up this top 20s black metal albums list. Immortal made an appearance about 3 times, but that's okay because this is my list. Some of you are probably wondering where Marduk or GBK or even Satanic War Master were. It was tough, trust me. As I've stated, top 30 to 50 would look so much more different. I am tempted to make that video, but I definitely want to get to some other things before I get back into the black metal type of content. But yeah, that about does it for now. Until the next one, I'll see you guys on the other side.